of the alcohol. La 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all. La 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 la. Well, my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every motherfucker must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Chris. Russ isn't here, but we have two special guests. We have Renee and Pete.
Hey, how's it going today?
Both of which you know from
Both being on the show.
both being on the show and from Tavern Nights and Tavern Talk and other things. And hey, CD.
Hey, we have CD on.
He was not expecting on time-ish. Hey,
within 5 minutes.
Notice it's Russ isn't here, so
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But we are actually in the nerd basement for the first time for Nerds with Alcohol.
Yeah.
Is since April of 2020. So
That's good.
There we go.
Russ and I will probably be back to virtual next week, but there is a reason that we're doing this. Pete just went to Disney, and we're going to be talking about that. And
I brought some toys.
So some nerdy relics,
Yes.
if you will.
And it's just more fun when you can be in person and we can observe
Play
it all
with them?
together and play with them rather than being like, instead of showing it on the screen and you guys thinking, well, that's cool. I wish I had mine.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show. Thanks a lot for coming out, CD, and everybody else that's out there. And thanks you guys for being here and filling in for us.
Yeah, of course.
So, we can just start off with Renee, how was your week? Ladies first.
Been a week. It's New Harvest.
Oh, yeah.
Been really busy.
What's New Harvest mean?
First apple harvest.
Oh, okay, yes.
Apples are coming into
Apples
season.
are coming
again.
into season, and the
course.
fact that I ran out of cider.
What?
It's been a bad couple months,
She talked
man.
about that last week, yeah.
It's been a bad couple months.
Okay, all right.
I legit was running out of... I came down to the last tank worth of cider that I had. And, I mean, we
Which is
legit...
saying something in the state of Michigan.
Yeah. We're only the second largest apple producer in the nation. Usually second or third. We flip with New York. Kind of just depends who gets hit by frost. Washington always wins. Largest apple producer in the nation. But yeah, I ran out of zombie killer for like a week and a half.
Oh dear! All right, yeah, that's a big deal for bee nectar.
Yeah,
So CD said need to go apple picking and Hulk smash them.
Yes. Yeah, we actually had to cut 3 or 2 of our products.
That was me spinning the glass.
Okay. We had to cut 2 of our products to actually reserve our cider for zombie killer. We actually stopped producing Punk Lemonade and Core Crusher over the last like 2 or 3 months to reserve the cider for zombie killer. Now that New Harvest is in, we got some tanker trucks in. Fine, it's fermenting, going great. Things are a lot better. However, we're very busy because we're behind, and I buy 5,500 gallons at a time. We are very busy, so we're bringing Punk Lemonade back. We're bringing Dude's Rug back. We're bringing Red Rug back. Yeah. I know that's your personal favorite.
It is.
I just got done with bottling Black Fang today, which is a mead, but still, yeah, it's been work has been busy. I'm very tired, but we got cider and things are going well.
Good.
Canning line's up and running. Not particularly well, but it's running. We're learning it. Big learning curve. Oof. Big learning curve. But, no, ultimately things are going fairly well. Just been really busy. And yeah, over the weekend I I volunteered and helped clear out invasive species on Bald Mountain with the DNR, and that was a wonderful experience.
Oh, cool.
And
Nerd.
Yep. I'm going to do it again this Saturday on Belle Isle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Very
it
nice.
was. Yeah, we were pulling glossy buckthorn. Oh shucks, what were the other two? Oh, autumn olive, and which I see everywhere. I never knew it was an invasive species. And the other one was honeysuckle. And we were
honeysuckle is invasive up here.
apparently it is. I did not know that either because I've always known it to be around. And yeah, it is.
I didn't really see it much until I moved to Louisville.
Yeah.
We had a bush out in the back, and I'll tell you what, that smells absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We do have a native honeysuckle species here, but it's a much smaller shrub than what the invasive one is. The invasive one is the one that you usually see more like in like Tennessee or in Kentucky, the bigger bushes. I don't know if they're invasive down there. Might be. Not entirely sure where their origin is from. I just haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet, which I probably absolutely will go down that rabbit hole because I'm me. But this particular area that we're working at is a really not common type of ecosystem called a fin, which have actually been Michigan used to have quite a few of them, and we're slowly losing them due to invasive species and actually like lack of forest fires because because the way these ecosystems have evolved throughout the ages, forest fires were a regular thing to like essentially clear out the dead thatch.
Yep.
And since people have been moving in and people have gotten a lot better about, and frankly, just if a fire starts, we put it down. Well, forest fires a lot of times are necessary for overall ecosystems, especially ecosystems that have evolved around having one roughly every 4 to 5 years, which fins in Michigan have evolved that way. So the DNR will actually do like controlled fires to try to preserve that. Mm-hmm. But the combination of the lack of forest fires with the invasive species, we're losing our fins. And this is like one of the last like remaining 3 or 4 that you said that we have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's like we looked across the one lake, and across the lake it's all glossy buckthorn. We're like slowly picking away at it. It was a lot of fun and very educational. I'm a biologist. That's my jam. I know I didn't mean to go on a little soapbox about it.
No,
but that's what I nerd out about.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
it's what you find fascinating. What different type of
it's a different
fascination that you enjoy. Yeah,
actually, to CD's point of flamethrower. So when the DNR, like the person who like
flamethrower.
Well, no, the last one, flamethrower. So I guess the person who like control, like when they schedule an actual controlled burn, the person who actually like monitors and supervises it, like the actual job title is Flame Boss, which is cool as fuck, in my personal opinion.
What's your position? I'm Flame Boss.
Flame Boss.
Seriously, that's how like little kids like grow up and want to be almost.
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Flame Boss. Really wish I knew.
It sounds like somebody Mario fights.
Yeah, I really wish I knew about like that type of job back in like junior high school when you take those tests of what you're going to be when you grow up, like what are you naturally good at? Because I got all like engineering because I said I was good at math and that I like math, so engineer, go.
Yeah.
Oh, especially girl. Yeah.
Yep. My second one, to my credit, was explosive specialist, and I'm definitely. I'm good at making alcohol, but explosive specialist would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, well, my career tests always came back with like nuclear sub technician.
Because you said you liked math?
Yeah. And I also got a demolitions.
Yeah. Explosive specialist, yeah. Good times. But yeah, Flame Boss, that didn't come up as an option. I definitely...
The bathtub gin blew up a lot.
How would you get like start on the career path to become a Flame Boss? I'm sure that like it's a very
it's a niche market.
Yes, and
but imagine
probably
you
have
go
to
into
check a certain amount of boxes to be able to make your way up to that.
Wildlife biology, and then like flame or thermodynamics, flame physics. I don't know. I do know that it's starting off like, or as
Fire sciences. I mean,
yeah,
you
I
just
can't
become a fireman. And,
yeah, I can't remember what because she had like the first certification. So they help control the flame. Like they will have like water packs because they control the flame to do a controlled burn. And I think she just said that she was like a firefighter, which is like the entry level like of that. And after like 15 years experience and certain certifications, so they're all just like certifications, you become flame boss. It's fucking cool.
Cool.
So.
Well, how about you, Pete? How was your week?
Over the past week, honestly, other than gaming, there wasn't as much going on. Which
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, which we had gaming on Friday, and then over the weekend, my boys they spent the night over at the grandparents' house, and
It's condensation.
the wife and I got a little bit of a date night. But other than that,
Oh, fun.
which we actually went out, to Cooper's Hawk and signed up for our wine club membership
nice.
again. So we're
Love
part of the
Cooper's Hawk.
so
we
part
actually
of the
we just signed up a few months.
Yeah.
So
in May.
we originally were there for about a year until COVID, and then there was like no point of it anymore after that. So we stopped it altogether. But we thought that all right, we're in a good spot right now. We felt comfortable enough where we actually went there, and it wasn't busy at all. There's probably only about 2 other couples that were there, so we signed up for it. Did the two bottles. That way you get like the free wine tasting per person, and the 2 bottles every single month. So we're looking forward to starting it up. Yeah, for like what, $34 a month?
Something like that, yeah.
For 2 bottles of wine and 2 wine tastings, which takes about an hour, and they're usually about $15, $16 a piece by themselves. It's a great, cheap,
fun fact,
quick date night.
If you save your tastings, you can actually like put it like towards your bill at some point, or you get like a free glass at dinner.
You can actually get a glass of wine at dinner.
Which is a lot of times is what we do because
I did not know that.
We almost never do the wine tastings, so they just kind of stack, and then eventually, when we do go out to dinner, they're like we'll each get like a free glass.
Okay.
Because
the
of
wine tasting is actually perfect for us because we usually drop the boys off at Oma's or her parents for for about 3 hours. So that's like the perfect amount of time for us to drop them off, go there, and have an enjoyable time, and then go pick them up.
I didn't know you were a wine drinker.
Yeah, Renee and I actually, our plan was we join the wine club, and then we can do that as a date night once a month. Go up there, we have dinner.
Yeah,
the food's phenomenal. He said actually Cooper Talk's been there for date night 2 times.
Yeah,
great spot.
Yeah,
wow,
they're awesome. Yeah, they are like a nationwide like chain or winery.
Drop them off for a D&D game at Auntie's house.
But other than that,
their food, though.
I've just been trying to catch up with work. I was gone. We'll talk about this shortly. But gone down at Disney, down in Florida, for 2 weeks, and I'm in engineering. And when it comes to like those office type jobs, I always feel like it takes however long you're taking vacation, it takes that many days to prep to leave for, and then that's how many days it takes to recover and catch back up after you get back. So I was gone for 2 weeks. I feel like it took 2 weeks of prep work, and then I'm still in the 2 weeks of getting back that I'm trying to get back up to speed. I did a little bit of work down there, checking some emails, which helped out a lot, but it's still like trying to get up to speed where everyone else has been. I'm still like a week and a half behind. Yeah. So I'm just trying to catch back up.
I feel you with like the amount of work it takes for me to prepare, for me to just be gone for a day.
So that way others aren't, if stuff hits the fan, it's manageable, and they don't have the background, the history, the knowledge that you've had leading up to it.
Yep.
So they won't be able to react to it.
That's why I never take time off work.
And same here. And I want to leave them with the best, chance to be able to respond to it. Mm-hmm. So that way it's not. I know that it will continue on without me. The company's not going to go under because I'm off. But I don't want them to be.
Mine will.
Well, I know that. Hey, I'm 1 out of 50,000. You're 1 out of about 10.
We lose one person, and we're down 33% of our staff.
But that makes a big difference. So, but all the more reason, though, when you're leaving, you want to make sure that you're giving the next person who's looking things over for you the best chance in case if something were to happen. So, they're not up to speed on what you've been working on, but even if you do, you want to go through all the steps to try and anticipate anything that you might have, so that way it makes it easier for them and when you return.
Yeah.
Yep. So, CD said that means you're indispensable.
She is.
But, so for me, it was mostly work. And work to the point where we weren't able to do Nerds last week on time.
Yeah.
Because I had to work that night. A big
you actually had like a catastrophic failure of a piece of equipment.
Well, yeah,
right?
it was over the weekend, and we had a backup, but that was the night that we had to. That was when we finally got the new piece in for actually replacing it. So, which that went great. It went fine. And then we did our show on Russ and I did the show on Thursday, which fine, and then Friday we had our game, which was absolutely fantastic. The game board's actually still set up here on the table. You haven't watched it yet? It's still on Twitch. Go check it out.
Mayor Karras in front of me.
Yeah, and it was a great time. But we'll talk about that a little bit. But other than that, that's what it was. So,
okay,
pretty typical. So, before we get into all the other stuff, what are you drinking?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
It angers me on how delicious it is because I hate these on principle. I am actually drinking a hard seltzer by Oddside, and it's their orange creamsicle, and it is spectacular. I hate it on principle because I hate seltzers on or alcoholic seltzers. Yeah, alcoholic seltzers on principle. And I've avoided drinking them for a very long time because I drink normal seltzer water. And I love normal seltzer water. And I'm like, I know I'm going to love an alcoholic version. But for whatever reason, I hate them on principle. But holy shit, this is so good. Like, you can actually see, like, it looks like seltzer water. It's perfectly clear.
A little off clear.
Just slight. It might be the glass.
Be careful.
No, it's glassware. It's fine. But yeah, no, it's clear. And
I was just thinking, maybe it's just the tints from the walls and stuff.
It could be.
It looks a little yellow.
Yeah, like I know the seltzer. I made a seltzer at work. The person who signs my paycheck told me to, so I did it. I can't say no.
The market is there. So
couldn't say no. Mine did not turn out that great. I learned a lot.
Okay.
There wasn't a whole lot of info at the time. There is now a lot of info because the new big thing are seltzers, and a lot of it is because the lack of sugar. It's a little bit healthier of a drink because it's not as sugary. A lot of them are like 150 calories and less. Like this one is 110 calories, but still 5% alcohol. I can totally get all of their flavoring from extracts because there are no actual added sugars.
Okay.
Which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like. We started exploring and experimenting with extracts or essences at Bee Nectar just to be able to get a better aroma pop. And frankly, I mean, your tongue can only taste 6 things. Yeah, 6 things. Yeah. Technically umami, which is a mouthfeel, but it is considered now. But your tongue can only taste a limited number of things. Most of what you taste is actually through your nose. It's through your you smell mostly.
Yeah, 90% of taste is smell.
Yeah. And and with the use of essences, it's the reason why this tastes so good is because they did a really good job with the essences or extracts, whatever they used, that it definitely tastes like an orange creamsicle, but it doesn't taste fake. That's usually where I usually have issues with, and I'm usually hypersensitive to them. And even though I know they're using them, they did it in such a good way where it doesn't taste artificial. And that is, frankly, in my book, a phenomenal seltzer. A lot of times, like the Budweiser ones, I get that artificial note, which tells me there's too much.
It tastes like a Diet Pop.
Yeah, and it's not. It's not good. This doesn't have that artificial note to it at all.
A cheap Diet Pop because it's Like Diet Coke doesn't quite have that, or at least I'm more used to it.
Yeah.
But like Diet Pepsi has much more, I think, fake flavor.
Yeah.
Diet flavor.
I mean, we started using essences in some of our stuff. Believe it or not, Sunrise Bay has some. Has a little touch of pineapple essence just to make it.
So,
Odd Sides, orange creamsicle hard seltzer, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 110 calories.
Very nice.
It's stupid good.
I did have some, and it's one of my favorite flavors.
Same. It's spectacular.
Orange creamsicle, and
it's really good.
It's one of the ones that we have, like regular seltzers in our house.
I picked it up because I like orange creamsicle, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to try it. Because I had their Bomb Pop one, which I can't find now. I think that was a summer thing. And
that was really good, too.
It tasted just like a fucking Bomb Pop.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Like, I have grape upstairs.
It took me right back to my childhood eating those fucking Rocket Pops.
Whoever they have as their chemist to like calculate this is doing a hell of a good job.
They do some good stuff. They do some stuff I'm not crazy about. Like there's
Odd Side makes a solid product. They really do.
There's one beer I'm going to review in a week or two, depending on when I get to it. That I didn't necessarily care for.
Where are they out of? Dexter? Grand Haven, Michigan.
Yeah, Grand Haven.
Yeah, they make a good product.
Well, 9 times. Haven't been yet.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I've always enjoyed Odd Side. Every now and then there's a one, but overall, they make a solid product.
What about you, Pete? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Florida Man by Cigar City Brewing, which down in Florida. Since I was just down there, I thought that and it is a double IPA. It's actually pretty strong, 8.5%.
Yeah.
It says on the site here, unpredictable varieties of hops used in nearly criminal volumes combine to create a bold, citrusy double India Pale Ale brewed to pay tribute to the world's worst superhero, Florida Man. And it's pretty tasty. I really like it. You can see that it's like a golden, like hazy color to it. Yeah. But I don't have the sophisticated palate that either of you do, but it's a very enjoyable one. I highly recommend it if you can find it. I know that Cigar City they usually have a rotation up here in Michigan, so it depends on what you sometimes see. Highlight seems to be the most popular one that you always see.
That's their flagship.
But I actually did not see it in the store today.
Weird.
And I saw this one, so. Because I was actually going to pick up some highlights since I just came from Florida, and that's where we're going to be talking a little bit about later on. But I saw that, and I'm like, oh, well, that's a new one that I haven't tried. So, and I know that you have one, so I'd like to know your opinion when you crack yours open a little bit later.
Have you ever Googled Florida Man and then your birthday to see what the headline was?
No, I have not. I didn't even know what Florida Man was.
You haven't heard of Florida Man does this, Florida Man does this? All right, let's see. We're gonna play this right now before I get to mine.
But when I was down in Florida,
well, wait. Let me do mine, and then we'll play.
Well, when I was down in Florida, it was actually kind of nice to see some Michigan beers down there. Like I did see like Dragon's Milk was like a nice one that I was that I saw down there. I did not see Bee Nectar.
We actually have a sales guy who lives in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We went.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We went to. They have weird stores down there. They don't have Myers. They have Publix.
Yep.
Yeah. So we went to the local Publix, and they didn't have.
You go Piggly Wiggly?
No.
But they did. They did have New Holland down there, so it was nice seeing some Michigan beers down there.
So I am drinking a cider, actually. So we got like the full gamut.
Yeah.
This is from Beak and Skiff Apple Orchards.
Oh.
It is the Cider Donut.
Ooh.
Premium small batch hard cider. And they got the can with donuts on it. It is they're from New York. It is 6.9% ABV, so it's actually pretty hefty.
That's pretty good for a cider.
The sweetness scale goes 1 to 6, and this is a 5.
Okay, I mean that's subjective, but
and it says 1911 cider donut hard cider is blended. Oh, it's 1911, I guess. 1911 established. That's actually when they started the orchard.
Okay.
They talk about that they've been around for over 100 years.
Oh, and they made it through Prohibition. Good for them.
Yeah. Well, they were an orchard, not necessarily making hard cider. But that was actually big back then.
But the thing is that a lot of the orchards were, that was one of the hardest industries hit due to Prohibition, because at the time, 90% of orchards went to making hard cider, and that whole phrase of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's how a lot of orchard families save their orchards. They're like, no, these aren't cider apples. You eat these apples, but because cider apples and the apples you eat are not the same apples.
Times, hard cider was
that was a common drink. Yeah.
Anyway, so
hard cider keeps better than apple juice. Anyway.
1911 cider donut hard cider is blended with brown sugar and spices to create the warm, toasty, perfectly fall quote, flavor of this favorite sweet. They got some stuff about themselves on here, the ingredients, all that. But so this is one. It comes in a pint can, and one of the things I will say, if you just smell this, you're not going to want to drink it. It smells awful.
Really?
It smells.
I mean,
it smells
it's not
like ass.
off. No, it's no.
It does smell off.
But
it smells burnt.
To me, it smells like a fart.
I want to go like that.
No,
there's like a burnt sweetness almost.
Yeah, it's like a burnt sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this: drinking it, it's fucking amazing. It is. You got that. You got the cider. You got the cider. The apple flavor. You got the brown sugar. You got cinnamon.
Is this the one that I'm like? You can actually taste the flour. Is that I had?
I don't know.
I think
now, weren't you just saying that 90% of taste is from smell?
Yeah, except
it is.
It is. But the thing is that there are things that don't taste like they smell.
We're married. We can share.
Yeah.
It tastes burnt too, though.
See, I don't think so.
It tastes burnt.
It tastes like a donut, though. It honestly tastes like a fucking donut.
It does. It
tastes like a cider-soaked donut.
I was going to say, specify what kind of donut, because
the cinnamon sugar donut.
For those that aren't from like the local area, there's like that cinnamon sugary donut you only get at cider mills.
Yep, it's a cider mill donut
that you are expected that you can dip into apple cider.
Yes,
and enhance that flavor.
This is that flavor.
And they embrace that particular flavor.
Dunk it in there and then eat it.
Yeah.
With that soaked through, because it just absorbs the apple cider so much.
That sounds
phenomenal. That's actually why I like going to a cider mill, is because I want to get those warm donuts.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
With the cider and just dunk them in there and just eat them.
So we're going to go to Blake's at some point?
I've never been to Blake's. So.
We should go. I mean, they're a competitor, but that's face it, like that's whatever.
The only cider mill I've ever been to is Yates.
Oh no, you haven't been to a real cider mill. I'm taking you to Blake's.
Hold on, Yates. Don't hate on Yates.
Don't hate Yates.
Do not hate Yates.
Yates holds a special place in our heart. But so yes, they are a legit cider mill. They process apples. They, however, don't have their own apple orchards there. They ship them in. They do own their own orchards, but they're at a different location. They truckload their apples over.
There's no place for the orchard.
Yeah, no, they're in the middle of the woods. But they actually have up until what was it, like 1995, they actually had the watermill
actually active.
The actual water wheel processed their actual press.
Yeah.
Up until 1998, and now they have a hydraulic one. But that's awesome. Yates is great.
What I hate about any of the cider mills, and Yates in particular, is fucking.
You can't get away from them.
I know. Because this is the time of year that they're trying to grab as much
they're in They're in scavenger season.
Yeah, and so as soon as they smell that sweetness.
Did I tell you about the honey spill we had at work? Oh, so we didn't know about we didn't know about the leak? Go ahead.
Listen,
go ahead.
I'm just going to finish up with this. This is really good. If you can find it, Beak and Skiff, cider donut, hard cider, really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I got one more can of this. So.
Sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to finish that up before we got off topic. Not like it's uncommon for us to go off on a tangent.
Yeah. The bees notified us about a leak on one of our honey totes. Now, mind you, I get totes, giant bag boxes of honey. Oh man, Trevor. Oh, he's upset about something.
He heard something.
But they come in totes of 3,050 pounds. So it's a giant bag in a box, and one of them, I guess, had a small little drip.
Homer's coming.
Yeah. And we, there was a small honey spill, and we had hundreds and hundreds of yellow jackets, honey bees, big old bumblebee bees. We had, it was not good. And then two of us are like, we've never been stung. We have no idea if we're allergic. I'm like, shit, I've never been stung by a bee. So I have no idea if I'm allergic or not.
I've been stung by bees, but more times than not, I've been stung by
wasp.
Yellow
Yeah.
The assholes.
Yeah. They serve their ecological purpose too, but
being dicks.
they actually eat larvae and do small amounts of pollination. But yeah,
the thing is that
they'll fight you though.
The 2 years in a row, I got stung on my birthday weekend at Renaissance Festival, and it was in the same spot both times because for some reason they like to charge at my eye. They would fly right at my eye, hit my glasses, bounce off, land right here on my nose, and sting me right on the side of the nose. Right in the same spot, right here on the cartilage, right in the cartilage.
Ouch!
And you're just
2 years
swelled up.
Yeah, luckily I don't have a horrible reaction to them.
Yeah, but you're still swelling up there.
I would swell up right there just a little bit, and I'd go find someplace, one of the drink booths, and say, "Hey, can I just get a little bit of ice and get an ice cube and just hold it there for a while?"
Yeah. Have you ever been stung by a bee? We have a lot of the same allergies, so.
I think once long ago.
Okay. Never been stung, so I have no idea.
It's a nerd attack.
And the thing is they're in scavenger season. They'll fight you.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I work with honey and sweet stuff all day long, and even if we keep the bay doors closed, they find a way in just because they know that this is a common location where they'll find sugar. Because one bee finds it, she goes back to the hive and tells all of her lady friends, and then they all come. But yeah, there was
shopping trip.
Yeah, there was one day I was back sweetening a plum mead, and yeah, they were out for blood. I'm getting dive bombed. I'm like, just go away. I ended up putting a little pool of honey 4 feet from me. I'm like, go there, and then I completed what I was doing.
See, he sees a video game.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk to
Florida Man.
Well, Florida Man.
We're going to do Florida Man.
We're going to play Florida Man. So, all right, let's see. Start with me. Florida Man.
I think the best thing I ever saw while I was living in Florida, because I lived there for 3 months in 2012.
I thought you were longer than that. Oh, it was just summer, wasn't it?
No, it was winter. I wintered down there. I totally get why people snowbird. I totally get it now. I was there from February until May.
Oh, okay.
And I was driving on Tamiami. And I was on my way to Tampa from Sarasota, so I was on the Gulf side. And I saw someone walking a rooster. This rooster had a harness and a leash. They were walking a rooster. It was fascinating. I didn't know that was the thing that was done.
I didn't know that.
The date or the year? You just put in the date?
No, usually I played it where you put in the year.
Maybe I'm just too old. And they're Florida Man.
Internet wasn't around back then.
No, it wasn't.
Florida Man headline.
So, care to elaborate more on
Florida Man?
Florida Man, yeah.
Florida Man.
Florida Man is whenever you hear a story is something or other happened, and then you're like, it was a Florida man was found to be walking naked,
all right.
crocodile or something like that. It's
just the most absurd headlines because no one should be living in Florida. It's really hot and it's not meant for actual human civilization, and it drives them insane.
Okay.
It's just the headlines that come out of Florida.
I got you now.
Florida man or Florida woman, yeah.
All right.
Google Florida Man followed by your birthday. This actually says not to do the date. It's just Florida Man or the year. Florida Man, August 20th.
Okay.
So let's see. Florida Man 15.
You looking it up then?
I'm looking at mine.
All right.
Well, I was actually gonna do all of them. So, Florida man suspected of smelling women's feet at library leads police on scooter chase. That's for mine.
Gross. You can actually put my year in.
So let's see. We'll go Renee.
Oh, there's a couple good ones.
Well, I just go with the first one. Florida man bit on tongue by rattlesnake he tried to kiss.
Okay. I see where you're liking this.
The one I got was Florida man hit dad in the face with pizza after learning he helped deliver him.
April 21st.
Florida man was arrested in the Tampa Bay area Tuesday after police said he pulled over an undercover detective while pretending to be an officer. That was actually a Pinterest one. That wasn't really in it. Here we go. Florida man says he thought law enforcement wasn't looking for suspects because of coronavirus. So that's Florida man.
Okay, I get it now. Yeah. That's humorous. I like that. Okay.
Yep. So let's talk a little D&D. We're going to talk more about this on Monday next Monday when we do Tavern Nights, Tavern Talk. But so this week we had a major major plot point.
We found
the
hags.
This was a major plot point in the Euchariah storyline.
Yeah. Yes. Which, unfortunately, there's not much interaction in the end for it, but it's going to provide interesting, a little bit more interesting, storyline for my character in the next game or two. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, because we ended the show right as they escaped, so we didn't have post-fight conversation yet.
Nope. It was just the basics of looting.
You looted the bodies. You found the kids,
and that was it.
Yeah.
I lost my Iron Man's
Climber cried a little tear for her Iron Man's Bolero.
I love those bands.
I only got to use them, I think, twice before.
Yes. I think this was the second time I've used them. I think I only used them on
the Manticore.
The Manticore.
Really?
I don't think I used them on anything else.
Yeah, you did. Used them on the drop.
That's what it was. Oh yeah,
I was gonna say,
yeah, that's right. That was the first time I went to use them, and he fucking turned into a fart on me.
he turned into gas and escaped.
Yeah, he ghosted me.
Yeah, he ghosted you.
Bastard turned into a goddamn fart.
I thought you used it twice before. Yes.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Where did we find were those in Wayback?
We found them in the Dragon's Horde, I think.
Yeah, that was part of the Dragon's Horde. Wayback, or not?
No, not Wayback.
In Stone Tooth.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
God, I love those pans.
I am sure that we can find a comparable magical item.
Oh no, they're so unless they can break a DC strength of 20, they're on her until they're off. It does in the description. It doesn't have a time of when they deactivate. They only have a time of if you miss, they don't reactivate until the following day. But once they're on until you break them.
Pending whatever the DM's discretion of the...
This is true.
Of it is going to be, yes. But I think that if they're broken, it's
then they're gone.
They're destroyed.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
right?
they're full on destroyed. And I was, counting on the fact that they're casters and hags, and that their strength would be pretty low.
Which it probably is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a blast. I actually didn't play a couple of things the way I wanted to, because I had some things set up.
Interesting.
Like the first wisdom save that you guys were actually supposed to be at disadvantage.
Oh.
Those of you that failed.
Okay.
For everything, because you didn't want to be. We're getting us. The closer you got, you were supposed to be feeling worse, and that you would have been at a disadvantage.
For our two characters, because you were mentioning it to us, and we were trying to convince the entire group
to not go this way, but let's go this way.
Yeah,
because you didn't want to go anywhere near that, and I kind of forgot about that. And there was one layer action I didn't use that I should have. So.
Oh, okay, interesting. But I don't think that you mentioned that, so we couldn't even remind you that we're supposed to be acting that way. I completely
forgot about it afterwards because I was in the moment and just kind of going with it, and it worked. Yeah. But yeah, there was that sense of dread. That was part of their why they hadn't been found, because nobody wanted to go near them.
Okay.
Because anyone that went in those woods would go, I'm going to go this way. It wasn't even anything conscious. It was just like, I'm going to go this way. You know, it just to stay away from them. That was part of what I had with that bay tree that was in the.
Okay.
Which I'm really happy with the way that turned out.
I liked that as a interesting twist to the entire battle, because every round and having us to make saves regarding that.
That's the lair actions, and So anytime there's lair actions, they go off at 20 at initiative 20.
Oh, okay.
That's where lair actions go off.
And that was probably the hardest fight since the Orcus fight in.
Oh gosh, without a doubt.
Wave Echo? Or
no, that was Stone Tooth.
Stone Tooth?
Stone Tooth. That was also.
Absolutely, I would say that was like.
And like that fight, they fucking got away.
This was on par with that. And
yeah. This was a legit boss fight.
Yep. And it was exactly what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be challenging for you. The cleric ran out of spells. One person got knocked out multiple times.
Yep. I mean, that happens on a semi-regular basis.
From the yo-yo.
And honestly,
knock me down and get back up again.
And
I get knocked down. And I get up again.
You did. You're like twice, right?
Down.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah, because Octavian was right after me in initiative, so I'd go down and he'd heal me.
I think that in the end, you actually told me that both my fireballs were basically useless in the end, because the rogue was able to dodge both of them.
Uncanny dodge.
And I think
Evasion,
which is, and because they made evasion as they make their saves, and if they make the saves, no damage.
Right, if it's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, and which fireball is.
Right. If they miss their save, they take half damage.
Yep.
If they make their save, they take no damage.
Yeah.
Which, that hurt. And I think that the first time I placed it in a way where it missed one of the other, what I forgot what they're called.
The Hexbloods.
Hexbloods. I missed the one Hexblood, but that one went down pretty quickly afterwards, I think.
Yeah.
It was, because we already fought.
He was the fighter. He was the fighter.
And we fought him previously, I think.
No. He went down. He let her get away. She escaped after he dropped. She ran, is what it was. He didn't go down quick. He had done some damage and used up some. Because he would hit him with something. But he was.
I fired 2 fireballs, I know, and I missed one while the other one.
Originally, you fought a fighter and a rogue, and the rogue ran.
Okay.
And then when you got to the hags camp, you fought that rogue again, along with the 2 hags, a sorcerer, and a paladin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. All right, gotcha.
Evasion is awesome.
Yeah.
I play a rogue in my other campaign, and evasion is amazing. Sneak attack is amazing. Sucks when you're on the other end of it.
I did have something else in mind, but everyone, especially Rich, convinced me to do Fireball to do it. But
I wasn't going to metagame that.
To try and... Well, I was debating whether or not what to do. I was thinking that... I was worried that something like that was going to happen, so I was trying to think of any way to prevent it from happening. But I wasn't sure if there's a way to do that. But you know what? In the end, I was very happy with the way that things turned out. We're all alive. We very well could have been not alive. And
I'm so pissed about my bands.
We still, saved the children in the end.
Yeah.
We
have a recurring villain.
We have closure to the quest that we were sought after, which was not exactly to kill the hags, but to save the children.
Yes.
Which I think that we can say that we were able to rescue them, and the hags won't be returning.
Yeah, the likelihood of them returning to this hunting ground is probably very small.
You've probably put them back a little bit because, I mean, unless they've got Hexbloods somewhere else.
Yeah. Because we took out 4 of their 5, right?
You took out 5. You took out all 5.
We did take out all
one of
them.
them was
None of them escaped.
Oh, then why is this guy still up?
Because he was the last one.
Yeah, which I think one of them was, I think you mentioned, was almost an original that our new friend that joined the group fought over 40 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was something kind of interesting to hear that, because that would make, like, he's probably one of the original Hexbloods or one of the leaders.
Or one of the
like,
oldest that they have currently.
Which that was, like, as you said, a big blow to the Hags.
Yeah.
So
he was their chief guardian.
And you have plenty of returning villains. You have Glassstaff. You have the Fart. You have Orcust and that. And now you have Greenor. You have 2 Hags. There is plenty of recurring villains.
Trust me.
That are probably all...
You're starting a club.
Yeah. The thing that I absolutely love is the fact that this story is 100% your story, is what you're telling me. And that is awesome.
Yes,
I mean, I've used some of the stuff from other modules, like the first module you guys went on before we started playing, the Wave Echo Cable one.
Yeah,
before we started streaming. That was actually that module. I ran that module, but I needed something to get you to 3rd level.
Yeah, that's a very common starting point.
My story actually started at 3rd level.
Yeah, the Adventure Times. It's a I can't remember the actual name of it. It's another
Zone.
Yeah, it's another D&D live play that's like 3 brothers and their dad, so it's only like 4 people, but they start with the Wave Echo one. And we were actively playing Wave Echo at the time, so I stopped listening to it because we reached where we were, and I'm like, man, nope, I can't. So I actually stopped listening to it until we finished that. I guess that's a very, very common starting point.
The only way to get that module actually is to buy the D&D starter set.
Okay.
From what I believe. Or at least it was.
Yeah.
I think you can get it now, but originally that was the only way to get it, there was a D&D starter set, and that was the only way to get that module.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a cool module.
Yeah,
that
was fun as fuck.
And I'm like, that's actually a cool module, and I can use that. And so what I did was I incorporated things like the Black Spider from that into my story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very solid. I thought that was a really good introduction.
That's one big bad evil guy that didn't get it.
Yeah. Oh my god! The whole
with a very lucky critical hit, right in the very beginning, that did like max damage.
You vaporized him.
I trevored him, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of interesting going back that far. When it comes to when
I actually missed that because I ran up to use the restroom and I came back and like fight's done. I'm like, what?
It just so happened to turn out that way.
Yeah, no, we never actually got to use it.
And repurpose him, I'm sure. That's really well done. Although he's got the staff there.
He's got the spider staff.
Yeah.
With the eye on the back.
But it actually kind of shows. I remember when we were fighting the Black Spider, there's a lot more of a confidence on what I was going to do. I was already planning two steps ahead, for the next step. By the time he got to me, I did my thing, and then everyone's restarting. It's back to the top of the initiative, and then it comes back to me. I have 3 or 4 things that I plan to do depending on what happens, depending on what Klimbrum does, what Octavian does, what everyone does. I'm trying to anticipate
monitoring stuff,
different scenarios on how my character would react depending on what happens, or when it comes to you and who's still up. Am I going to attack? Am I going to buff? Or where am I going to go? And our first attack with Glassstaff, I remember especially I think Renee, Rich, and myself, we were all all right, we're going to hold our action until we see something that happens, because we were so afraid of dying at level 1 that we're I don't want to attack. I don't want to be in the front.
I think you guys were level 2 at that point.
Yeah.
But...
Whatever. But we were so afraid.
Level 2.
We were so afraid about what could happen. We weren't planning ahead, and that's how we got away, actually, because we didn't do anything. We allowed him. Yeah, we allowed him to escape because we were just so afraid of getting hit.
No, it was the other room. Because it was the.
But that was in our manor.
It was in the
that's right.
Yeah,
it was in the alchemy lab there.
This one.
Yeah.
but that's just what I remember from that first, battle with class staff was that we knew that we were coming up to him. And I think that I took out my familiar took out his familiar. So we knew he was close.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, I just remember, I'm holding my action for Firebolt in case if I see someone come in. And Rich holds his action for Guiding Bolt in case something happens. We're all holding our actions. It was like, no, we should just go in and, go head first and start attacking. But we're just, so nervous, new
players.
Didn't know how to anticipate
And you weren't, what was funny was Rich was picking up on the stuff that I was saying about the way he was doing things. Like, you would cast Firebolt and he would move his staff and a shield would go up.
Yeah,
and stuff. And
he pointed that out to me like a couple days later when we were like all at trivia. Like, did you notice it? I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that staff.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Like, oh no, we got to go find him. And now
the glass staff.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, I can anticipate what was happening here now, but we were still so early on in the game that we didn't know that.
We've been playing this game for
2 years.
2 years now,
mm-hmm.
And the growth that you guys have done. I mean, you just hit 8th level.
Yep.
Last time, so and
AC 17. Sorry.
And the growth that I've seen from you guys, as far as going from that like you were saying, that
mm-hmm.
nervous new player about, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure what I should do, I only have limited spells, I don't want to cast it yet. What do I do?
Absolutely.
Do I hold it?
Yeah.
Do I wait? Do I do it now? Wait. To being, fuck it, Fireball.
Yeah.
And like I said, not even that, but like I said, I have two or three other.
Down.
Oh my god,
that's
that is going to be the quote of our entire campaign.
But for me, I have 2 or 3 contingency plans on what I'm probably going to do, unless if something completely out of the blue happened, and it's like, oh, okay, that threw me for a loop. I don't know what to do, and I'm thinking on the spot.
That's why I like my player. You
pop.
Yep, I got 2 tricks, man. I can phase behind you and then pop, or run right at you and pop.
You're right, CD. Fireballs are not precise choices.
Yeah. Okay, no. I'm sorry. My drink is broken.
Okay, grab a drink.
Yeah, I'm going to.
So the for me, one of the defining moments of this campaign was actually your fight with the Black Dragon and how well you guys did with against that.
Oh yes.
And
Rich was
particularly
Rich
with his casting of Water Walk. That basically made the dragon go, what the fuck?
And I think took you completely by surprise.
I didn't expect that. He's like, wait. As Renee runs away, and Klimber runs away, he's like, whoa.
Not that far. Oh. How far away is she? And
he's like, if I run over here, is she within range? It doesn't matter. I'm casting it anyway, but...
Because he couldn't see me either, because he's a human.
Yep.
That
absolutely, yes.
Was absolutely brilliant. MVP moment.
Yep. Oh, brunch. That's the last of the brunches.
Yeah, it's last year's too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's out now.
But I'm really excited. You're absolutely right. We hit level 8, which is really exciting. That was a huge moment. I liked it how Russ teased it, level 8.
Yeah. So this was a big moment. I said, yes. Hit level.
And honestly, I think that none of us were anticipating that.
No.
I think that we were all thinking that there was
I figured we had to kill the hags to hit level 8,
and that was.
You had to defeat them. This was the next chapter that I was doing.
Okay.
You guys have there's a couple of things that I'm working on, and I'm trying to decide what levels I want things to happen at, and so I'm throwing some other stuff in there. I've got plans for what is going to come next. So I've already got that worked out, drop some maps and things, get it finished. But I already have the premise, and I know how things happen. You guys still have 3 days before your
for our stuff is here and ready. Yeah.
But I mean, now what do you do? Are you going to take a break? Are you going to follow up on Phelan and Lauka?
We have friends who are missing.
Are you going to check out the whole thing with Sarah in the book? What are you going to do?
I feel like our next priorities, because we saved the kids, would have to be our friends are still missing, and they were taken, but they're also not in the city.
Right.
There's a problem. If we leave the city,
we're not coming back for a hot second.
It's going to be a very long time, which, me personally, I like the way that I'm probably going to be playing it is that, we still have a few days like that. Maybe we try and contact them again. We already wasted like a week here. Waiting a few more days to get our stuff to be better ready. Because because I'm guessing that eventually we might find our friends. If we show up and Ian's not going to be part of it, but I know his character. If we show up without a capability, he will be upset.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know you're getting it.
It also
ordered it for him.
I know, and it would be a surprise.
So what's hard about this situation is the fact that we know that Ian and Sydney have moved on from the campaign because they have their own lives that they are living. So it's hard to pursue trying to save them and not do that metagaming because
Absolutely.
I can tell you Klimbrum's girlfriend is missing.
Russ's childhood friend.
Friend is missing. I mean, no one really gives a fuck about Phelan because it's Phelan, but Phelan's been he's been in battle with us. We fought a dragon together.
Talks to botanicals.
Yeah, talks to botanicals.
But
so even though we don't have our characters don't have a long-lasting history with him, he became a part of our lives for multiple months.
And that's kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah, and it's hard to... Yeah.
If he's painting, it's likely that's the next one.
Yeah. So it's hard
Renee actually painted the hags, though.
I did. I paint a lot.
They were very well done.
Thank you. I had to their skin tone, I don't actually have that type of paint because... I was trying to mimic what was in the Monsters manual.
Yeah, and actually, it's also what's on the back.
That one wasn't quite as clear. I actually ended up pulling it up on D&D Beyond, and they had this distinct burnt orange dusk color to them, and that was a combination of 4 different colors between layering to actually get that actual shade that I liked. They were a lot of fun to paint. They were a lot of fun. I really like painting black clothes because it's really hard to give depth to black clothes. Mm-hmm. You have to paint it in a certain way in order to show depth and the actual wrinkles in their body
shadowing out on black.
Yeah, it's
and a lot of times you don't even use black.
Yeah,
you use dark grays and stuff like that because then you can still see the shadows without it just blending all together.
Yeah. They were a lot of fun to paint. I had a good time painting them. But back to my original point of it's hard to separate being the human and playing the character of we know that they're not coming back. Or at least, they might come back once in a while. We don't know. Highly doubt it, though. They're always welcome back at the table.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I love both.
I would hope that they would at least guest star maybe one day.
Yeah, I would love for them to come back.
I'm gonna see about that when you guys, because there's a chance you guys will run into too.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
Yeah,
I would like to talk to them.
But it's
almost
hard.
like a one shot for them.
Yeah, it's hard to justify going to save them when we know them as players aren't going to be back.
And I think it's because you introduced it in a way that seems so immediate that they are in danger. We have to respond.
Yeah.
If we learned about it afterwards, then maybe we could have
Well, it's because of what Rich did.
I know.
It's Octavian asking
he
questions.
Asked the question.
I had to answer him.
Of course.
They are in danger. But they're not in the city. Yep. And you found out that they were They were put on the ship 2 days before. So they are now at sea. You have no idea where they're going.
There's no way we're going to be able to find them.
So the way that I was going to approach it in the next game is that we have a few days. We need to try.
We need more info before we can move.
Yeah, wait for our stuff so that way we can be at our best. Mm-hmm. We can gather more info, and then on top of that, honestly, I think in those 3 days, or however long it takes to get our stuff, we can knock out the Sarah thing, or at least follow up on it. Yeah, and then maybe not knock out. I don't know how deep it goes, but the place that I think that we need to go to is
like a day south.
It's like not even a day south. Yeah, to just go there and see like how it is. And just ask around there, and then if we find nothing from it, okay, well maybe we're going to return to Greyhawk eventually one day. But if we
the family jewels,
but if we can in those 3 days, I think that we can use that as an opportunity to like go down there and try and follow up and finish that, because
looking forward for your stuff being to play Borislav.
I love Borislav
for the first time in person.
I love Borislav.
Borislav Botel.
Oh my god, the fact that is actually someone's name.
Borislav actually, I had a guy that I used to work with when I was an intern a long time ago who had a similar name. It's not Borislav, but it had a very unique name like that. His name was Wojtek Smoke.
Oh.
I remember you telling me about Wojtek.
But it's like spelled like WOJTEK.
Yeah.
SMUK.
Yeah.
It was like a very distinct name, very Polish. And I was like, that is such an awesome name.
I like that. I need to write that name down. Next dog, Wojtek.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing Borislav again.
I actually don't have how far Greenfest is. Greenfest is a little farming town southeast from Greyhawk.
I think it's a half a day.
About a day.
About a day. Okay, about a day away. So I think that we can use these 3 days to like go down there, spend a day down there, and then a day back, and then we can get our stuff and go. That's kind of like what Euchariah, as soon as we get back with the kids and check in with Modelin. That's what I was anticipating.
I kind of want to I want to kind of hang out in Greyhawk a little bit more.
We spent a lot of time in Greyhawk. It's been a week, but it seemed like about 4 months.
Yeah, but I want to fight what's his face again. I love that pit. I can have a permanent job there. I can just fuck off.
You can probably handle him at level 8 now.
Probably could.
I doubt that he's leveled up.
It's a fucking...
But he fights every single night, so I don't know, maybe.
Barbarian monk bullshit. Rage crap.
But anyway, so, I'm looking forward to getting back to it. We got another week and a half.
Can't be here fast
enough. Why can't we just play every week?
Because we have other jobs and lives. And some of us have kids. Some of us have kids.
Yeah. That's true. And I'm just actually happy that we're doing it every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because when we were first starting and doing it every single month, like it was about every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was brutal waiting that long to play the next game. And for me,
his life. Yep.
And for me, this past time that we played, I was really itching for it because it was about 5 weeks since my previous game, because I missed the previous game that you guys, because I was in Disney. And
you were joking that you were getting twitchy down in Disney.
I honestly kind of was. I've just been so excited to play.
Yeah.
And
we actually made the comments on the game where Pete's probably getting
itchy.
Twitchy. You hadn't even left yet when we played.
Yeah. He was leaving that day.
He was leaving. You were leaving the next day. Or no, we missed that game. We actually
we skipped it.
We had the concert. Yeah.
The concert.
I was down there,
and we were going to play the day that he left.
Oh, Rich was going to be gone.
But Rich would have been gone too. So we actually
and it was the day before. And it was the day before I would have left, and I said, and Rich wouldn't have been able to. And I'm like, you have to drive like freaking 12 hours on Saturday.
You drove to Disney,
and it's like I don't want to be up until like 1 o'clock in the morning and then be leaving at like 7.
Yeah.
In order to drive down, I can't handle it. So I think that you push it back another week, so that way
to our normal schedule. And I just kept it on our normal schedule. And we just skipped one.
Definitely play this past Friday. We played until midnight. We didn't get to bed until like 1, because of course we BS afterwards. And I definitely woke up at 6 o'clock, 5:45. Definitely woke up early and went to Bald Mountain at daybreak.
Yep.
It was awesome, though.
But yeah, so I had a blast though.
It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I love being back around the table.
Same. I did not realize how much I missed being around the table until we got back around the table.
Energy is so like being on the computer. I'll have to admit, for the pandemic,
it served its purpose.
I'm glad that we live in a world today where that is an easily accessible option for us to make it work.
Yeah,
it worked very nice. Sure, there's some hiccups along the way over the course of the last year.
Yeah,
but it allowed us to be able to do it every 2 weeks.
By the way, for my other campaign, I've dropped Foundry.
Oh, really?
We're back to Roll20.
Yeah,
because it just runs better.
Yeah.
I honestly, I was happy when we did to Forge, but with the amount of issues that we had, I just felt like we never had that with Roll20,
and they kept going.
Yeah, they just kept getting.
That's unfortunate because they had so much more.
Yeah, the last one was actually that Renee on my laptop here and Bob on his would just get gray screens. They wouldn't even see the map. It was just gray.
Yeah,
which a lot of people often came across.
And Bob would say, "Okay, I got the map back. Oh, it's gone." It would be there for 10 seconds, and then it would go away. It'd just go back to the.
And did you have the same issues with people's, image just dropping? Oh, you okay?
You're right.
Yeah, the chair just
popped.
Just popped.
It didn't go through the cushion though, right?
No.
Okay.
No, but it locked. It was locked in the.
We need to get rid of that chair.
Yeah, this chair needs to go away. It didn't. It's. Let's just say that it doesn't have any resistance. The lean back now, so I'm going to be careful for the rest of the show. We only got a half an hour left, so
we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, let's move on. We talk a lot about D&D, but I love this campaign. I love it. I can talk about it all the time.
Same. I love this story.
We'll talk more at the.
And honestly, like I said, this is my story. This is something I've been working on for over 5 years. I've had this idea for this story for that long. Because that's the other thing.
That's cool.
You guys actually have the main storyline still to do. You're still looking for that staff too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
we're doing side quests.
Yeah, you're basically doing side quests right now.
I forgot about that.
You're building yourself up for the big boss fight.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do, right? Did we ever I know we went to the library. Did we didn't even research about that staff.
Nope, you looked at a bunch of other stuff, but you never actually looked at the staff.
One of our leading experts in that is Raslin.
Yeah,
which
and
is based off of,
he went to school here.
Yeah, so
I feel like he probably would have done the research at that library.
And which we may be able to find something more, but at the same time,
especially in the restricted section.
There's reasoning for what we've been doing up to this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so but let's move on.
Sure.
So a few other things, some nerdy stuff that we just checked out earlier tonight. One, Russ and I think we did talk about this, but we're getting closer, and we've seen now the final trailer for the Eternals, and I wanted to talk about that some more because I know you're still catching up on the MCU movie.
I am all the up to Endgame. I'm sorry, not Endgame. The latest Spider-Man. I've seen up to that point. So
Far From Home.
Far From Home. So anything beyond Far From Home, I have not seen yet.
Okay.
Which hasn't been too much, I don't think.
I feel like it's only
probably two movies.
Two movies.
I don't recall what has been post Far From Home, but because there is a little bit of a.
Well,
there's the latest one that just came out with was it Shang
Black Widow, Shang-Chi.
I have not seen that, or Black Widow. I have not seen.
Black Widow was absolutely fantastic.
It was. That's in overall storyline though. That's a prequel.
Yeah, but those two I've not seen.
It actually happens between Civil War and Age of Ultron. No, it's right after Civil War.
Yeah,
because she's on the run.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen either of
Black
those
Widow
yet.
was very good. We have not seen Shang-Chi yet.
I think those are the only two. I think because
because Far From Home is before Endgame.
No,
it's right after because it came back.
But that came out just before COVID, and with COVID, I think that only those 2 have come out thus far.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the actual like.
We are currently rewatching all the phases.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
So we got into the habit of like
There you go.
Saturday or Sunday, we pretty much spend a day painting, and we just put on Marvel movies on TV for background noise.
Okay.
And we're essentially rewatching them all, which has been a lot of fun. We're midway through phase 2. We just watched Guardians.
Did I give you back all your
We
movies?
are on Age of Ultron.
I have no idea.
We
We just finished Guardians, so we're on Age of Ultron.
I think I did.
And then it's just Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And
then we'll be done with phase 2, and then we'll be on to phase 3 again. It's been nice to like go back and, remember where
All right, here we
like
go.
Iron Man
in
and
order of release.
how everyone came about.
What to watch? They got to go back to Howard the Duck, Blade, and the original 70s.
Didn't I hear that they're going to bring back Howard the Duck in future?
They keep talking about it.
There was supposed to be a TV show that was going to be written by Kevin Smith, but they've canned it.
Oh, okay.
They shit canned it.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I was bummed. Russ and
But I think they're still playing with the idea of potentially bringing Blade back.
Blade is coming back.
Okay, Blade is coming
Blade
back.
is part of this new phase.
Okay.
And
because the original Blade movies are
Mara
great.
Sala Ali is playing.
Know that name.
He played Coppermouth.
Ooh, he'd be good.
Yeah, he's going to be Blade.
Yeah, he'd be really good.
So Iron Man,
Coppermouth, not Diamondback.
Yeah,
Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Luke Cage.
Yeah, the original Big Bad in Luke Cage. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be good.
So it was Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America: First Avenger, Marvel's Avengers. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is Iron Man 3, Thor: Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man. Then the next one. So you've actually made it all the way through phase 3 then.
Yeah.
If you're on Far From Home, because it's Captain America: Civil War. That's right after that is where Black Widow takes place.
Okay.
Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and Wasp, Captain Marvel, Endgame, Far From Home. And then since then, it's just Black Widow and Shang-Chi.
So those are the only 2 that I haven't seen yet.
Which if you want to borrow Black Widow, you can.
Yeah.
Or you can
Is it
watch
on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it's
good.
I
it
Disney
is
Plus.
way better than I thought. And I can't think of her name.
She plays her sister.
Plays her sister.
She kind of stole the movie.
She didn't really necessarily steal it, but Florence Pugh.
She made her presence known.
Oh,
she was spectacular.
What is with the? Oh, you're a poser.
There is this particular scene.
It's a whole family thing too.
Yeah.
And David Harbour is just incredible.
He's great
as the Crimson Guardian.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
So they're resupplying just at like a grocery store, and the thing about that scene, as funny as that scene is, the thing that I personally super appreciate about that scene is, so less than 12 hours before, they got their asses handed to them, and they're normal humans. They're very skilled humans, but they are frankly normal humans. Except for David Harbour. But it was just Black Widow and her sister.
Yeah.
And when she gets down and she essentially makes fun of her sister, why do you always do that thing, the pose, and you do the hair flip? Like, why do you always do this? You hear her grunt getting down like she's sore, and then getting up, you hear her grunt because she's sore. Little details like that, I super appreciate. It makes it much, much, much more relatable.
Of course, yes.
Because... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
At one point, you see Scarlett Johansson or Black Widow. She's just changing her shirt. You can just see the bruises on her back, and you're like, "Yeah, because you're fucking human." Thank you for that.
That was actually something I liked about the Marvel shows on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Was like Daredevil gets his ass kicked,
and you see him soar for multiple episodes afterwards.
Oh yeah,
because each episode was roughly a day in that show, and he's a normal human with he's got a special ability that he can see through hearing. He's got echolocation, but he's still a normal human.
Which, along those lines, it's now been pretty much confirmed that they're bringing back at least Daredevil, Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Yeah, like CD said, like Batman.
Yeah. And
Batman's got the greatest superpower.
Money.
Yeah,
but at least in the Batman Begins, you see him getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And he's sore.
You see him hurt.
Mm-hmm. But and Alfred comments on it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I liked about the Nolan Batman.
Yes.
Is that he actually did get hurt.
Yes.
I agree.
But anyway, as far as the Marvel stuff goes, they're going to
no time for physical therapy.
No. They basically have said that they are bringing back Charlie Cox as Daredevil. We probably won't see him in his own movie or anything like that until 2024. They're saying at the earliest, but there's a good chance he's going to show up. There's rumors that he's going to show up in the new Spider-Man movie at Christmas. That he's going to be the one that's defending Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or Peter.
Charlie Cox is phenomenal.
He is absolutely
as
phenomenal.
Daredevil.
And but he's not going to be Daredevil. We're just going to see him as Matt Murdock.
Okay.
His lawyer, alter ego. There's talk that he's going to show up in the She-Hulk show because that's a legal comedy. There's also talk that Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter, will be back. That she's going to have her own show on Disney, but that she may show up before then in She-Hulk because actually,
that's gonna be cool.
Well, actually, because Jessica Jones and Jessica Walters, She-Hulk, are actually really good friends in the comics. And she's a private investigator that could work for She-Hulk, and in the legal field. Yeah. But they're also talking that the whole thing is that they want just about everyone back. So they're going to get the same guy to play Foggy. They're going to bring Deborah Ann Wall back as Paige. They're going to bring back... the big question is, will Carrie Ann Moss come back to play Hogarth?
Again,
in Jessica Jones.
I can
people want... I feel like a lot of actors want a piece of the
everyone
Marvel
wants to be a part of, associated with Marvel. Not just the TV, but the cinematic universe.
But the one that they've talked about that everyone would love to see, but I agree with some of the stuff I've read and heard. I don't think that they'll be able to do this one, and that's bring Tennant back as the Purple Man, as Kilgrave. Yes, Kilgrave, sorry. Because they won't be able to redo that story.
Yeah.
That story was pretty much closed.
But it was really rough, too. Yeah. And that's not going to be something they can put on Disney. But it's also, it's one of those things where, yes, they're going to reboot these characters, but what they're going to do is they're going to basically say all of that happened in the past, but they're not going to really reference it. Well, they're also bringing Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin.
Oh, he's spectacular.
Is going to come back as Kingpin.
There is no one else who could play that role. He was so
good as Kingpin.
He is such a good actor.
I was so impressed with him. And he basically said, I want to be Kingpin again. I want to come back for Kingpin.
He is, first of all, Vincent, he's so good. He's just such a good actor. I've loved everything I've ever seen him in. He is just spectacular. And he is very good at that role.
Yeah.
Especially that scene where he's bashing the guy's head in with a door. Jesus.
Yep. But yeah, I loved him as Kingpin.
I would love the guy to come back as Luke Cage, but he's
done. He said he is done.
Yeah, he's
actually gonna be at Motor City Comic Con. Michael Coulter.
That's a bummer. You definitely want to get a part. Just be the dictator mouse.
He doesn't want to do it.
And you know what? To each their own. I think that's a really dumb move, personally, because he was so good as that character.
He's got other things going on though too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody has their own lives, and if he doesn't want a piece of that pie, that's totally fine. I really enjoyed him as Luke Cage.
He's on the TV show Evil now on CBS.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I'm told it's really good. We should probably check that out.
I started watching the first episode, and it's really slow. But I think I like him as an actor. So.
Yeah, I really like him as an actor as well.
But anyways, yeah. So, but this all started with me talking about the Eternals thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
One, talking about everyone wants a piece of that of that MCU pie. Looking at the cast of Eternals.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Angelina Jolie,
Selma Hayek, Kit Harington.
Yeah.
Who the fuck else is in there? There's a bunch of other names.
Kit doesn't have Game of Thrones anymore.
No. And I want to see how this ties in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I like that in the last trailer they actually kind of just went, you know what, we'll just give this away. And explain why it is that the Eternals weren't around for the whole Thanos thing.
Actually,
right?
it's kind of nice in a way because, like, if you're throwing...
Richard Madden, the other Stark brother, is in it too.
Oh,
yeah, he's
that's right.
Yeah,
it's both Rob.
It's Rob and
John.
Yeah,
but it's nice that they actually explain that right away, just to kind of like throw that out there because if it seemed like they have all this power.
Well, they do. They are these super beings, and that was part of the thing. Everyone's like, where the fuck were they during Endgame? And I think that because so many people were saying that online, and they're like, all right, you're throwing the Eternals in here. Where the fuck were they during Endgame?
They put it in the trailer.
So they actually put it in the trailer so that people would shut up.
Yeah.
They're like, well,
we were forbidden.
Where were we? Where were you during the whole Thanos thing?
Yeah.
And,
we were forbidden unless it was demons.
Atrocity in human history, and they're like, well, why didn't you help then? But we were told we couldn't.
Unless it was related to demons.
And
I thought it was not demons.
That's what they said in the trailer.
No, it's the...
Unless it was specifically related to something.
And
which
the convergence.
And it was legit saying something like that, where it's like, all right, but by not doing it, it had this potential consequence that we did not anticipate.
Yeah, which is what happened.
Which is like, and then undoing the snapping.
Yeah,
the snapping.
Well, and that's the thing. This is going to introduce so much power into the MCU now, because one, these are super beings.
Yeah,
and
they get their orders from Celestials.
Yeah, and they're going to also be introducing the Celestials, which are these cosmic beings.
Which also, as we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, used to be the wielders of the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Like, they were the original wielders. At least that's how I took those flashbacks when what's-his-face is going on about the
Power Stone.
Yeah.
And they show a Celestial wielding the Power Stone and destroying planets.
Just putting it down and just decimating. Yeah.
But so it was. It's going to be interesting to see how this ties in, because then after this one we get Spider-Man, and then we get Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
The Multiverse of Madness. So we're going to get this one, which is going to be kind of a standalone. So we've got Black Widow, which is a prequel. Shang-Chi, which is kind of a standalone right now. The Eternals, which is a standalone. And then we get back into the whole MCU timeline thing, where we get Spider-Man, which is going to be a continuation of the last stuff.
And that's going to have Doctor Strange in there
and it's going to bring Doctor Strange in, because we're going to start seeing how Peter actually ties to the multiverse. He is a pivotal character. Spider-Man actually is basically the glue. He's like one of those beings. Is the glue.
The web.
He's a nexus.
Yeah.
He's a nexus being.
Okay.
He actually can. He is the glue. He is the web that holds he can connect to all the multiverse. And then that's going to continue into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Which, that is also, though I feel like those two movies are also going to be directly tied to the shows of, like, Loki and, frankly, WandaVision.
WandaVision is going to be huge in Doctor Strange.
Because Wanda herself is a Nexus being as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Wanda in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man. I think that's what we're going to see.
And then she's probably going to be
the big villain in
the adversary at the very least, because they're going to
be basically trying to bring her back. I think is what Doctor Strange is
bring her humanity back. Yeah,
and it's going to be her trying to find her kids, and I think that's what we're going to wind up getting. We're going to get where she's going to save her kids.
Yeah, no matter what,
she's going to find.
Because in the
Wiccan
comics, she essentially willed them into being, didn't she?
No, in the comics they were created as parts of Mephisto. So Mephisto basically broke off. There's your kids.
So he legit just like Zeus did.
Well, yeah, he was doing it to fuck with her.
Artemis.
Too. Well, he was doing it to fuck with her too.
Yeah. Okay.
So
man, that writing room's got to be insane. Can you imagine them just planning this shit out?
Yeah.
They are that meme of like the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with all the things.
Oh yeah. Well,
they are also, that meme.
Well, it's also the it's got to be as crazy as any soap opera's writing room.
Yeah, they just probably.
But anyway, so I'm really looking forward to these next movies. I still want to see Shang-Chi. I'm hoping it's still in the theaters because I really want to see it.
Yeah, that's all you. I'll wait for it to come out.
It'll eventually get on Disney+.
It will, but I don't want to fall behind. That's the problem. I didn't go see Shang-Chi because I wanted to see Black Widow first, even though it was a prequel. Now that I've seen Black Widow, I keep meaning to make the time to go see Shang-Chi, and I haven't made the time. For me, it's hard to do that, because, I mean, these are just over 2-hour movies for the most part. I don't want to necessarily take that time and... Because it's not just that, you got the 15 minutes of previews from the time that they say the movie's going to start before it actually starts. And then the movie, so it's 2.5 hours before
never over 17 minutes, just so you know.
And then, well, that's what I'm saying, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So you got 15 minutes of previews, you got 2 hours and 15 minutes of a movie, so that's 2.5 hours, plus the 15 minutes to get there and the 15 minutes to get home. So you're looking at 3 hours that I have to dedicate to going to see a movie.
And then on top of it, your wife has zero interest in going to the movie theater.
Which, I don't mind going to the movies by myself. I don't care about that.
Yeah, but
and Russ and I talked about going to the movies.
The
again,
weekends are when we hang out because we don't see each other during the week.
And I mean, that can be time when I just got Far Cry 6, and I'm starting to play that, which I won't talk about tonight. I'll talk about it more next time because I want to play it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's time I can be painting my minis.
Yep.
It's time I can be writing for the campaign. It's taking away from time that I could be doing.
Yeah.
And well, I want to stay up on them. I want to be able to talk about them here on the show. Things like that. It's still difficult.
Yeah.
So we are running out of time. So let's get to Pete and Star Wars. We're gonna go a little long here because we're already at an hour and a half. So,
yeah, I was noticing that.
It's only 9:30.
But there's some fun stuff.
So let's talk about Disney.
Yes.
So you went to Disney World. Disney World!
You just won the Super Bowl.
How do you describe it? Dictator Mouse?
Dictator Mouse.
Dictator Mouse, yeah.
Who like just...
Dictator Mouse.
I have a...
Florida Man is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's good for a double IPA. It does have that hop punch.
Oh, it's a double.
Very hoppy. And it's juicy. It's not filtered.
It's 80 IBUs, so it's got that bitterness to it, for sure.
But yes, Dictator Mouse, who is slowly collecting all the Infinity Stones of like Harry Potter, Fox.
Not Harry Potter yet. It eventually will. I'm just waiting for the day they acquire Harry Potter and then they make it into a TV show.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorite memes is Mickey Mouse as Thanos just slowly collecting all the Infinity Stones.
And I believe
because Fox and all of those others.
The Muppets and Disney and Star Wars and Marvel.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of like how they got it all.
Coburn realized that I really hate Muppets, and he started just talking in Skeksis voice, and I'm like, stop it. Otherwise, you're fired.
Actually, they just came out with a Muppets Haunted Mansion movie that we watched on Disney+. It was pretty funny.
Nope.
It was pretty good.
I'll check it out.
I would recommend it because all the little details because we just came from it, and Haunted Mansion is one of my personal favorite rides.
I love the Muppets. I do too, CD.
Haunted Mansion is one of my personal favorites.
Muppets
and they have so many
Haunted Mansion's a personal favorite
and they have so many little references in the Muppets. Like, it's only like an hour long, but they have so many references in it to the tiniest detail that we were able to point out. Even my kids, like 9 and 11, were able to point out the details that they were having from it because we probably wrote it like 4 or 5 times.
Did you go on the Haunted Mansion ride?
Like 4 or 5 times. It's
so cheesy now. I mean,
it's so good, though.
It's cheesy in a fun way.
It's a scarier ride. It's a Small World.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying with all those little fucking dolls.
Yeah. That was our dad's favorite ride. Like that was the one that he needed to go on.
Jackson's favorite ride.
We actually broke down on that.
So you're just stuck on that boat.
Sitting there on the boat, looking at all these dolls.
Just wait until they make It's a Small World TV show or movie. But anyway, we went to Disney. It was great. We were there for 2 weeks. We spent 2 days at Hollywood Studios, where they have the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And they have so many cool things there.
The ridiculousness of the price of that, if you want to stay at Galaxy's Edge.
Oh no! You're talking about the hotel which isn't there yet. It's a subsidiary that is like nearby and hasn't launched yet, but it's like showing up.
Yeah, it's going to be like
$5,000 for like 2 nights for
one person.
Per
person. $6,000 per person for 2 nights, and that's all you can stay there.
Yeah,
you have to move on after
2 nights. Yes, but
we do Ireland for cheaper than that.
But cheaper than one person.
Yeah. But you are a character in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Playing within, you have your own role, and everyone else has their own role. And honestly, like, there's a lot of stuff that I want to show you right now. But like the newest ride, like Rise of the Resistance, that they have there. They have 2 rides over there. They have the Millennium Falcon ride, where it's like basically like a really cool glorified video game. You're in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. They have 6 people. They have 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 engineers. The pilots get to move around, like one moves up and down, one moves side to side, and one controls hyperdrive. And typically,
does the hyperdrive go? Boo, 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 boo.
No, it does not do that. It is like, but no, like you like when you see your child pull that lever down, and all of a sudden, like you see that like whoosh, and like the push like forward, and they like give you that like. I get chills just watching my kids actually do that moment.
Cool.
Because like it's like pull the hyperdrive, so like and the kids like they're like doing it. They're distracted, right? So you have to tell them, "Come on, Sawyer, pull the hyperdrive!" Like, and then he pulls it, and then like you're like, I lose it every single time. I love that moment, that whoosh feeling of like where it like backs up and like pushes you forward, and that you see.
That's cool.
Like I've never been like one of the pilots. That's typically the kids go there because that's the most that happens. Because beyond that, it's just pressing buttons. But it's cool. Like you're like for the gunners, you're pressing buttons to shoot things, and then the engineers have to press buttons to fix the ship. And you're working together as a team to make sure that you have a successful smuggling run, essentially. And it's a lot of fun, but they usually try and put the kids up to the front because that's where the most action is.
Yeah.
And that's where you're really feeling it, right? So luckily, my kids have always gotten a chance to be up there. Every single time they've ever done, they've been one of the pilots. And I get chills for them because it's just so darn cool. And it's a really cool ride. And then that's what they originally released with. And then you have the Rise of the Resistance, which is their newest ride. But it was actually launched about 2 years ago. They actually had what's called a virtual queue where you actually had to go online and get in line for it early before you got into the ride. So my wife and I had to get up at like 6:45 in the morning because at 7 a.m. on the dot, you had to go on your app, on the Disney app, and get into the virtual queue if you wanted to actually ride the darn ride.
Wow.
At some point during the day.
At some point during the day. And you had to go and refresh. You get in. All right. You sign up for it. You don't worry about any of the other members in your party or anything like that. You just sign up for it and get a spot. As long as you get a spot, you're guaranteed for your party to get it.
For a line.
It essentially was. But they make you do it before you even.
For you.
But they make you do it before you even get in. So if no one bothered to do it before getting into Hollywood Studios, you don't get to ride that line. We were actually in an unusual time because they were doing the virtual lines for the last, I think 2 years, and they stopped it in the middle of when we were there. So the first day we went to Hollywood Studios, we had to do that, get up early, get in, and honestly, we only waited like 15 minutes because they gave us a time slot. We arrived at the time slot and we walked right in.
Nice.
The second time we went in, a week later, where they got rid of that virtual queue, we had to wait in line, and it was 80 minutes, and it wrapped around outside of Galaxy's Edge into the Muppet area, actually, and then we actually had to make our way back in. We rode it.
80 minutes isn't bad for a major ride at Disney.
Man, I would much rather just like be able to sign in to every single ride, and you give me a
fast pass.
Yeah,
they actually had fast passes where
did away with that. That's all. You have to pay extra.
No
for
fast
that kind of
pass,
stuff. And they don't apply to premium rides like that.
Yeah.
So you have to wait.
But if you can actually like log in online and just like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this.
But it's a go or no go. If you miss it, you miss it. You don't get to ride that ride. That's the problem.
But even
so you pay all that money to go into Hollywood Studios, $120 per person. You don't even get to ride the newest ride. Like, if you're willing to wait for it, that sucks.
Yeah.
So what kind of ride is it? Is it one of those little simulator rides?
So you're talking about Rise of the Resistance?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Rise of the Resistance
simulator rides make me sick.
Is insanely immersive. I was blown away about how immersive it was, because you wait after the line. There's a lot. It's obviously in the new expansion and in the sequel trilogy. With Kylo Ren, First Order, Resistance, and all that. You wait after you wait.
Those parks make me angry.
After you wait in line, they have a couple different staging areas. The first staging area, you enter in like a transport ship where they have like Akbar and a few others that are trying to transport you somewhere else, but you're bombarded by First Order and they capture you. They know that you're Resistance. So you enter in this like little like ship, and they move it around. They kind of just move you up and over to another staging area, but that's just a staging area. But it's a little bit of a story, and then they move you into another area, and then all of a sudden you walk in, and there's this wide open area that you're on a Death Star. Star Destroyer. You're on a Star Destroyer, and you see one of the open hangars, and you see like dozens of troopers in front of you. It's like, you're freaking captured. And they have and then you have to you're ushered in an area, and the cast members are actually part of being the actors, actually. So they interact with you, saying like, Resistance scum, like, are you? And they look at the kids and they're like, tell us where your secret Resistance base is. And like, the kids are like, scared and that, don't know what to do. And they have like some good photo opportunities and that. And then and this is all just staging and like build up, essentially, exposition. And then eventually you get it put into this a cell where there's no exit. And then there's a little bit of a story that comes up, and then they tell you that you have to wait, and then you're broken out by the Resistance, and then like a mysterious door appears, and then Resistance cast members from pretend to be Resistance say, "All right, come in here," and that's when you finally get on the ride. After all that exposition, is like, this is just actually essentially waiting in line to get in here. Like, this is a cool freaking way to wait in line.
Yeah,
it reminds me a lot of when I went to Vegas back in the 90s, and the Hilton in Vegas had the Star Trek experience.
Okay,
and it was the whole Borg thing.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, what it was you wound up going in there, and you go through this whole thing, and it was like, basically like, you get in line and you get in this thing, and there was a whole story about that the get beamed up to Enterprise. To the Enterprise, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, it was, my cousin and I did it, and we're sitting there and we're like, okay, blah blah blah, and you're in this one room and they're talking to you, and basically I think it's Riker comes up on this screen and starts talking to you about, we're going to beam you up, and all of a sudden everything goes black, and then the lights come back on. I mean, it was like a flash. It was like lights off, lights on,
and you're in a different area.
And we were on a transporter pad.
Yeah. My
and I'm like, we were like,
that's
both of us went, that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's
we're
exactly
like, how the fuck did they do that?
That's exactly what my mom said. Because
they did that.
Mom and Dad did that when they went to Vegas, and they're like, I don't know how they did it.
And both of us were like trying to figure it out. We're like, how the fuck did they do that? Because that was a solid wall. We didn't hear anything move, and it was like that. It was so fast.
Yeah.
And we were like, that was cool. But that just wound up being, you wound up on a shuttlecraft, and then you were flying through Vegas.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid the Borg. And it was kind of cool, but it was one of those where it was just, were just in a simulator, so
Okay.
it was all simulated movement, and that actually I did start getting some motion.
No, there's nothing like that.
The only
here.
time I've ever had motion sickness was on one of those types of rides.
You're in a
Star Tours at Disney was the other one. That was the one where I actually.
It's not like Star Tours.
That's the one in the AT-AT?
No, that's the one where you're on a basically a shuttlecraft with R2D2 and c 6d
and the entire thing is moving
like,
around.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's like in. It's been years since I've been to Disney, so
you're basically just in a
gigantic capsule that moves around.
but yeah, your like your seats move and all of that.
Yeah, everything. The whole thing moves.
I distinctly remember, like, when you're walking up to that building, there's an AT-AT. And
well, there's an AT-AT, and there's
7-year-old Renee's brain was that simulator was in the AT-AT.
It wasn't. But
Okay, but it's that ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I got motion sickness on.
Yeah, but
It's not like that.
But I actually got out of it. I was like,
When you eventually get on the ride itself, you're in this like little like transporter, like this little pod that seats like 6 people, and it has a droid in front of it, and it's got like these special rollers. Actually, I kind of recognize it because we kind of used it a little bit in the auto industry also to move around equipment. And it just has extremely precise movement to like where the entire unit just goes like moves or like moves around in like in any
3D printer.
Absolutely any direction that you need to move. It has the capability of moving, like spinning around or like in quick movements. And you're just seeing like everything. And you're in the Star Destroyer, and the entire premise is that the Resistance is trying to break you out of the Star Destroyer. So you get to the command center of the Star Destroyer, and you're seeing like you're seeing Kylo Ren on the bridge of the Star Destroyer, and you're seeing like what they're seeing, like the space battles. And then you get to like another area, and it's like the AT-AT like staging area that they have, and they're freaking life-size AT-ATs that you're seeing, and you're like looking up and like, holy crap, like it is just mind-blowing, very realistic. And then you're like moving.
Hydraulics are cool.
Yeah,
you're moving around, and then there's like another spot where like you see like a big like planar area of like windows that you're seeing into space, and you're seeing the space battle of the Resistance versus the First Order, and it is like watching a freaking movie directly from Star Wars, and you're just like you're feeling like you're right into it. And
that's awesome.
And then when you're taken, and then eventually when you do escape, because you obviously do escape because it's the whole ride, you're taken outside, and you eventually you land and you crash on a planet, and then you're outside all of a sudden. You're not indoors anymore. It actually takes you physically outside, and that's where you exit out. So it gives you that experience like you were outside. And then you entered in a pod, you went into space, you did your thing, and then you landed back on a planet, and then you exit out. I was like,
that's pretty cool.
Holy crap. And we had to do it 2 more times.
All right, so we're
that's
at like
well
an hour and 45 minutes, so let's pull out some toys.
Toys, all right. You guys are set. Yeah, yes. I know that, right? All right. Let me see what we got.
I can go get mine.
That actually, just the containers for those are cool as hell.
All right, so we went to Savvy's workshop, and I have 2 of these from when we went 2 years ago, and where my son Sawyer, who's my oldest, and I got our lightsabers. These babies cost about $220 a piece, but the experience that you get with it are absolutely phenomenal.
I would absolutely do it.
Oh yeah,
I highly recommend it. If you go there, you have to spend your money and give it to Dictator Mouse.
So, I already have a lightsaber, but I would absolutely.
This is the closest one to Darth Vader. You want to give that to Chris there?
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's Sawyer's lightsaber right
this
here.
This is very, very Vader-esque.
And this is Jackson's that he just made when we left right here. And it doesn't have a kyber crystal in it yet.
Yeah, but I just turned it on. And that's actually just
this. So this one is mine. So both my boys got there's 4 different options that you have. You have I want to say piece
plastic.
Yeah, this is like a plastic
these are
LEDs
actual, like,
down here.
Battle.
No, they're not battle ready.
Okay.
Do not. Actually, if you're going to Disney and you're getting these, I do not recommend hitting. Like, do very lightly. Okay. They're not
like Saber Forge, which is battle ready.
They're not battle ready
because mine's battle ready
because of the type of LEDs that are used.
Okay.
They can't the plastic. It can be dented. and cause some discoloration and some damage to the LEDs inside. I do not recommend
display.
Yeah.
for the most part. You can do some light fun with it. They do you can do it to where they do make the slashing or the hitting sounds. And so both my boys went with the power and the power one, the dark side blades.
Parenting done right.
Good boys.
Yeah.
They're so they actually Sawyer did his 2 years ago. Jackson did his in the exact opposite of what Sawyer's did. They have multiple options there's 4 different areas.
The little belt hook thing.
So you can twist and pull off the blade.
Sweet.
They have a top portion, like the emitter. They have 2 middle portions right here.
It's cool that you actually build your lightsaber
Yeah.
So it comes in multiple pieces like this. And you pick one emitter, which is the part that is in the top, right, where the blade or the light would actually come out of. You have 2 centerpieces, but there's 4 different options. So there's 2 options for the emitter. There's 4 options for the centerpieces. So that way you can flavor it up a little bit. And if you notice, the boys have all the dark side ones.
Yeah.
So they have both types of emitters, all 4 centerpiece options.
I like that emitter.
Yeah.
Personally.
So all 4 centerpiece options, and then the switch. There's 2 parts to the switch, and there's 2 different types of switches. So Sawyer and Jackson both got their own switches, and then down at the bottom the exhaust, which is where the sound comes from. And they each pick. There's 2 options for the exhaust. So
I just want to see it.
Yeah. No, it's sweet.
So you can mix and match them. In fact,
I like this one better.
So do I.
In fact,
Jackson did a better job.
Well,
I like Jackson's better.
Jackson did the exact opposite of what Sawyer did.
Yeah.
Sawyer tried to make his. Sawyer tried to make his as close to Darth Vader as he could.
I was going to say that's Vader's.
He did a good job.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's definitely Vader's.
I like this one better.
I like that one a little bit more too.
It's sleeker.
Yeah.
Vader's was a little boxy, but it's still cool as fuck.
That's cool as hell.
So, would you guys like to pick your kyber crystals on what you want to do? So, I actually have every single kyber crystal. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen. Apologies for that. But there is green, blue, yellow, white, red, and purple. Interestingly enough, the ones that they give out as options, they do not. They only have green, blue, red, and purple at Savvy's workshop. The others are not readily available. You actually have to pick one of those 4 colors. And then they have yellow available at Florida or California. The white, I actually just picked up white today.
Oh, wow.
And I just got it from Amazon delivered. That's only available in California from what I am understanding. So, which crystal would you like to pick?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Go ahead.
I figured you'd want red.
So, me personally, I pick purple. Purple's my favorite color.
Yep.
And obviously that's Mace Windu.
I like purple's one of my favorite colors as well.
So, if you want to, you can twist these 2 in opposite directions. And righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You can take the 2 middle parts and just you don't have to completely untwist it. Just untwist it enough to where it disconnects. And then the middle portion of it there's 2 pieces that separate. Yep. And then you can... Yep.
This way?
Yep. It doesn't matter. Actually, it works both ways. And you can put... you have to actually kind of snap it in. There's little...
Does it go... Side up or
it doesn't. It actually doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's 2 little
I see the little holes.
There's little holes there that you can kind of finagle the crystal into place, so that way it actually kind of snaps
I'm
in.
not good with small things.
Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, I see it. It actually you have to push it up.
Working on it. I'm just.
Yeah. Oh wait, I like that it glows.
And then it glows and has the sound when you know that it's in place, right? There you go. Oh, here.
Yeah, you got it. Oh, hey. There we go. Thank you.
Like that. Yep.
There we go. That's
So pay attention to the, there's a blue and a red part for the 2 sections here. You'll notice there's a blue and a red little indicator. And just line it up so that way it actually lines up. So this is blue, so you see the blue here?
Yep.
The
and
blue.
I got red down here.
Yep, so just put the red down here, and then and then twist it into place. And there you go.
That's pretty cool.
It actually looks like yellowish on the...
Oh, it does. Mine doesn't make sound. I didn't have the money for that at the time.
So I will I'll go ahead and do the white, which is the one that I just picked up.
That's awesome, though.
I think I should pay for the expansion pack on mine.
I need to get one.
Yeah, mine was a car payment I did not make.
On the Saberforge, it is CD.
So both my boys went with the dark side lightsabers, and we have every single option that's on there. There's a piece in order one, I believe, which is essentially Luke Skywalker's. Mm-hmm. There is a nature version, which the bottom piece down here is a Rancor tooth, which is very popular.
Yep.
And then mine is actually Protection and Defense, which is based off of the Old Republic.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is the white one.
Oh, nice.
So it's Ahsoka's.
Ahsoka's.
Yeah.
And this is the white lightsaber. And each one actually has distinct sounds.
Yeah, I was just about to note that.
So listen to the...
Yeah, I was just noticing that they all have distinct sounds.
And one thing that I just recently...
Good on the nerds who created this. Like, it's a little details, right?
Some other things, like after you build it, you get all these options. And then if you wanted to, you can buy each of these pieces individually. If you wanted to branch out, if you don't have one. So this one is actually from the protection, or the Luke Skywalker version, which is like the emitter from Luke Skywalker, essentially. Mm-hmm. Instead of the one that I had particularly, if you can kind of see that. You can kind of see a little bit of the variation with like each one. Actually, you can easily tell that it belongs in place. Like there's like a brushed feel to the metallic, or mine, the Old Republic.
I like how yours looks like it has wear to it, too.
There's like wear and tear to it versus the Luke Skywalker is shiny.
It's not like flat. It's got texture.
Yes. Which is the Old Republic, which is like and that's like kind of what drew me to it, is like going to the Old Republic version. And Luke Skywalker's that's what this emitter is from, because and it's very shiny and very new.
What's funny is Renee and I it's obvious that we were meant to be together, because the saber she chose actually is exactly the one I was going to do.
But my hilt is actually is super short, and it only fits my hands.
So feel free to switch out your kyber crystal if you'd like to. So one other thing that the kyber crystals are, these things are RFID chips actually inside here. So my son researched online on how to...
Did he hack them?
Hack them.
Nice. And parenting done right. Good job, Pete.
And unfortunately, the machine that... Sawyer, of course. The machine that we got was able to hack the crystal. I offered up my original purple crystal for the experiment, and
thank you.
And we changed it, and you can change it because also if you get like the holocrons that are over there, they actually are like magic 8-balls, and have like Yoda or Qui-Gon or Darth Vader might be on there for the holocrons. Essentially,
why this is so hard for me.
You just have to get it just right. Look, if you see here, there's like a little spot here and down
I know.
Here.
I know what I need to do. My hands are in just...
I found it easier to go little side up.
Okay. I'm not good with little things.
So you notice that I have...
really look like halogen type.
So you may notice that I have a purple crystal in right here.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then, let me...
I got the green, which is my second favorite. Which is this is the color of the Force Master. Those that are the Jedi that are really strong in the Force and Force use are green.
Your
Warriors-
Qui-Gons and your
the Yodas.
Yodas. Yes.
The Warriors are blue, which is Kenobi and Anakin.
Yeah.
So this is a purple crystal,
But it's green.
but it's green. So
Because he hacked it.
he hacked it. So be careful if you're trying to buy these online, because the little you have to buy the right one. The one that we bought redoes the coding on it, but it's a one-time only thing. So we changed it to green, and it puts this like weird password on it that you can't find out afterwards because the way that the kyber crystals respond. There's another one that's out there that's a little bit more expensive that'll allow you to rewrite it continuously. Unfortunately, we went the cheaper route and bought this wrong one, and it's a one-time change only. So we had a purple one, and we changed it to green. It was just an experiment on our part.
It's so
and I went and bought a new purple because I wanted a new purple one.
Yeah.
But we have every single kyber crystal.
But the camera doesn't pick it up as green. It actually picks it up as kyber.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch it to yellow. But
so
it is quite the experience. I highly recommend it.
Let's see what else you got over there, because you got some other stuff too.
So I don't know if you wanted to check out the really quick while I grab that. You can see the here, and this is the yellow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I bought this.
The gray Jedi.
I don't recall the Guardians, Jedi Guardians. I think also use them. If you wanted to,
they're like neutral.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some other fun things that we got here.
Cool.
That I got from my son Sawyer. Also, really wanted a helmet, and they have two really cool options that are available.
Got the Mandalorian there.
One is a First Order Stormtrooper, or a Mando helmet, a Beskar Mando helmet.
That's cool.
The little fitting piece is not in place right now because it's fit to my my 11-year-old.
Yeah.
But that was about $120, and he bought it with his own money.
That is cool as hell.
And it is
parenting done right.
And I think that if you press this button right here, a
light comes on.
It has a light, and it's got some internal lights as well. But
that's sweet.
You wanted to try that on and see if it fits.
It's not going to fit me.
Oh no! It doesn't even have the thing in. Oh, darn it.
Nope, doesn't fit me.
I mean,
I could probably squeeze it on.
Well, I think that's
we'd be trying it. We'd be having to go to the hospital to get it off.
Oh, darn.
But that's really fucking cool.
Renee, you could fit it on, I'm sure.
Does it fit Richard?
I like that it can.
What's that?
Did it fit Richard? I have almost the same size head.
I don't think Rich
you got a lot of hair.
I also have a big head.
There you go.
You got it.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, you're so sexy.
Yeah, I am.
I know you are.
There, Renee, look over here. Perfect. So we searched for this thing forever because it's surprisingly not sold at Galaxy's Edge. We had to find it.
I took the crystals out.
We actually had to find it over at wrong crystal. Had to find it at Magic Kingdom or Epcot is where it's at. They really control on where things are located if you really want them. So
what's funny is you talking in there, Renee. It sounds like you're like the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
You get that muffledness.
While like as I was talking, I'm like, and just breathing, I'm like, I understand why Vader sounds like an asthmatic because I can hear myself breathing.
Well, and from what I've heard, the what's his name, Pascal, hated being in the helmet.
Oh yeah, I have no doubts.
All right, so we're at 2 hours.
All right, there's one more thing that we got to show though.
That's one.
R2D2. He's actually on camera pretty good though.
Go.
Artie Deco.
Here's R2, and I think they call
RC
him
controlled. CD just asked.
Yes, they're controlled, and these are part of the droid build experiences.
You actually get to build your own droids?
You get to build your own droid. You can make an R2 unit or a BB unit. Let me see here.
R2's open. It's got to be open.
That's okay.
I like the Imperial droid there.
Yeah.
So Jackson made the Imperial. Sawyer made the R2. I have not played around with these too much, but
oh, there you go.
but they also have personalities too. So the base personality is just R2, but you can actually buy. Of course, the King of Mouse needs to milk everything that they have, and there are first order rebel, scoundrel, I think, resistance, different types of personality chips that you can put in.
Exactly, CD. He said, damn, they know how to market at Disney. Charge $200 plus, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so you can... Oh. What's that? And you can move their heads around, yeah. Let me see here, and if I can change them up here. And you can change up their personalities so that way they actually interact with each other and move around.
Yeah.
So now R2, I think, should be a first order. So this is a cheaper option if you couldn't get into Savvy's workshop. They can build your own lightsaber. They do have the build your own droid. They're about $100.
So CD said, but do they track you like an Amazon bot?
I'm not sure about that, but since my oldest got a lightsaber the first time, he wanted to build a droid the second time, and then my youngest was so excited to see in his R2 unit, he wanted to build his own, and he built an Imperial droid here. And they have a bunch of like little things that you can, like I said, they have 6 different personalities right here that you can put in. So if you open it up, he's got a particular chip in there that gives him a personality, and these are the different chips. So that would be a Rebel one. And in fact, I think that might be a smuggler one that he's got in them. So they have a lot of different sounds and ones, and they're supposed to, like, if they're around each other, they're supposed to like communicate and like show that they can actually like interact with each other in a way. But
yeah, I would have way too much fun with this.
There's a lot of different options.
Adults.
You can even they have BB-8 or BB units that you can also do in
this
both
one sounds
light
like
and
a
dark side. You know, it's funny because my kids saw it the same way. But we have each of the I think we have almost all the personality chips, and they have some accessories, and they have a lot of different options on how to make the colors.
Yeah.
They have a lot of different options for
money,
for colors as well.
Oh yeah, battle bots.
Sawyer went truly for an R2 unit, and and he actually even got like a new like head for him too, like as an accessory.
That's
and you
cool.
can mix and match as well after you buy it, just like I did with the lightsabers. You know, I got additional pieces that, which you know, they're not cheap for the lightsabers. Each additional piece is $25 a piece. So I got 2 extra pieces, a new emitter and a new centerpiece. Just added in some new flavor, especially one like the emitter coming from Luke Skywalker's second lightsaber I wanted, just to try it out. And I felt it was worth it. You can just go and like get the additional ones for a little bit, and you can get additional like heads and other body parts for your droids too, for if you wanted to like change it up, because they only give you, as part of the original package, like a certain amount to like do one build. But if you wanted those extras, they had those available to you as well.
Cool.
So,
All right. So I think we need to wrap things up.
There's still so much to talk about and play with, though.
Yeah, we'll have to see about having you back again. Actually, have for like Russ on too. And,
he would. I'm sure that he would like it.
And yeah, we'll have a good time playing with toys.
Yeah. Because adults.
Yes.
Because there's this is just showing like in terms of the lightsabers, we're showing like the adult version of the lightsabers, so like the legit $200 type versions of it that you want to display. They have like the
need a Disney podcast so much.
They have them. They have the build your own lightsabers that are more like for children, that are more like for the combat ready, that are like based off of plastic and are just essentially like glorified like flashlights that like shine a light through, and then you have like the plastic extenders. Those are only about like $30 to $45, and like both my kids build like their own like versions of those lightsabers as well. So they have their nice ones, and they have their like play kid ones essentially that are cheaper. But my youngest built like a nice like standard like Kylo Ren type lightsaber with a yellow like blade instead, and they do have yellow now available. Sawyer though went with the more expensive route and built this monstrosity of a double bladed lightsaber with one hand, or with one side of it having like the Kylo Ren like side blades of it, but the other side did not, and it's like red on one side and blue on the other, and it's just the most like gigantic like thing that would just be totally terrifying in the Star Wars universe if you saw a double bladed lightsaber that had additional ones coming off to the side because of the
like that
extra
moment
energy.
With Darth Maul of.
It was kind of like that, yeah. And but
what the fuck?
And they have a lot of options in that route too, which is really cool. And they're doing it in a very safe environment. And when you're building like the nice expensive lightsabers, it's an experience.
CD said watch Visions. There's some cool versions in there. I have not watched Visions yet. That's actually on my list of things to watch. Is Star Wars Visions.
I want to see that too.
I'm hoping to get to that at least some of what this weekend. Yeah. Depends on if I go to Comic-Con or not. I feel like I need to go to Comic-Con. I really want to go to Comic-Con, but it's also my thing about I hate crowds, especially in this time.
Yes.
And a buddy of mine said that even before the pandemic, where they have this at the Suburban Showcase in Novi,
yeah.
He's like, it's not big enough for what they have. They don't open it all the way up. They cram everyone into this thing. He said it's really hard to move around, and I don't want that. But now I did see that they finally announced the panels, and I'm like, all right. So if I go from 1:45 till 4:45, I'm in panels back to back to back because there are 3 panels I want to see.
Okay.
The first one is the Mandalorian panel. It has Giancarlo Esposito and Ming-Hua Nen. And then the second panel at 2:45, in a different room, of course, is the boys panel, and it's Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, and
that I have not seen,
and Erin Moriarty, who plays Starlight, in that panel. And then, which Boys season 3 is about to start. I think it's, and then maybe it's not till next year, but anyway, and then the third one is a John Barrowman panel.
Oh,
and it's called You Don't Know Jack, and it's just him. Well, one of the cosplay, or one of the photo ops for John Barrowman on Saturday is
interacting.
Yeah,
is actually a John Barrowman cosplay photo op where he will be dressed up in cosplay as something, and the picture that they have is him dressed up as Wonder Woman.
Love it. Oh, that's exactly his personality too.
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing where he did there was someone dressed up as Darth Vader with a kilt, and he did a kilt check. He laid down on the ground, and Darth Vader came over and straddled over top of him, and he sat up going. But yeah, so we should get going though. It's been great. We've gone over 2 hours. This is actually probably our longest episode ever because we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. So,
other than the first one.
Other than the first one, which we actually had to split up into two because Russ and I had no fucking clue what we were doing, and we just started talking.
Yeah.
It was a typical Russ and I conversation night, and that's really what it was, which is what this podcast was built to be. Was basically me and Russ talking.
Yeah.
And it was something that was suggested by some other people that basically like said, you guys should have like a podcast because you two just talking. You talk forever about nerd shit.
Yeah.
So
5 years later,
we're still going.
Yeah.
So and I still love it. I'm still having a blast. So thanks a lot for hanging out with us, everybody.
Thank you.
We know we went long. Hope you stuck around. Remember, you can subscribe to us. I am actually planning on doing something for depending on how many subscribers we get. It won't be for a while because we only have 2 subscribers right now, and we are. I'm thinking like at 50 subscribers, we'll give something away. And then like at 100 subscribers, we'll give something away, things like that. So if we can get some subscribers, we'll give something away to one random subscriber.
CD.
Well, CD gets is going to get a lot of props, and I want to do something special for him just because he hangs out, he talks to us every week. Thank you, CD. We do really appreciate you so
CD.
much. And then, but yeah, so I want to do like I'm thinking of like just doing like a player's handbook, like doing like a D&D player's handbook.
Anyone wants, I'm happy to do a custom paint too.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a custom paint or something like that, or but like do like an autographed player's handbook or an autographed. We'll make a poster for like with the Tavern Knights logo that you drew up,
which is immediately out of date.
Yeah, and then, but then we'll do like a poster or something like that, and have all of us autograph that.
That'd be cool.
Not that our autographs are worth like what Critical Roles is, which by the way, there was a whole bunch of other stuff I was going to talk about with that. They just announced a new book for D&D. It's actually a Critical Role adventure that's coming out next year.
Yep,
I did not hear that.
Yep, it's a brand new adventure that's specifically Critical Role based. It's in the world of Exandria, co-written by Matt Mercer. We'll talk about. Russ and I will talk about more of that next week as more info comes out. That just got announced today, so that's brand new.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick it up not so much to run it, but just to have the info because I guess there's some really cool stuff about like other like NPC parties that are competing with the piece for the same goal.
Nice.
And how to run that. So that's something that could come into play later on.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be fascinating.
So yeah. Well, you're farther than me, CD. I'm actually only on 57. He's on box 66.
Yeah,
I'm on 57.
I am on 23.
Which I have to say, so here's one of the things. I listen to our show, and I'm like, our audio could be better. I'm not totally happy with our audio, but we're using one mic and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. But then I go back and I watch Vox Machina, and they are at episode 57 with almost 20,000 followers or subscribers at this point. They have the number. And their audio sounds like ours.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
They are using mics that are picking things up just as they're in the room. They sound like they're in a big room.
Once in a while, you see like one of the camera people or behind the scenes people laughing.
Yeah, you hear that or things like that. So I don't feel as bad watching the old episodes. So like,
it took that long for them to get to the production value that they're at.
We've done 71 episodes on Twitch for Tavern Knights.
Tavern Knights?
No, I'm sorry. 51 episodes of that. 51 episodes of Tavern Knights.
No, we couldn't have.
Well, part of that is, remember, I did them in chunks originally. So, we're only on, where are we on?
Well, I'll tell you.
Overall, I think in terms of how many games we played, I think we're on 39. It's where I
are
session 38.
27. This one will be 27.
Yeah, we're on session 38 since the beginning.
Yeah, and this will be episode 27 of Tavern Knights. But if you actually look at our playlist, it says that we have 51 episodes.
Yeah, because you used to break it up.
I used to break them up.
Yes.
Now I don't, and they've actually become more popular since I stopped breaking. I do cut down the gaps inside, where like instead of doing the full 10 minutes that we take a break, it becomes like 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, of course. That makes sense. Yeah.
So I just cut that down.
Which you can't do on Twitch, I don't think.
Right. Shut up.
So this is an example of we're not touching anything, but they're actually just like showing some
every once in a while they talk to each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, so remember, you can follow us, or you can find the podcast on just about anywhere that you find quality podcasts. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all those places. I'm not going to go through everything that Russ does. He's got an actual list. You follow us on most of the social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show. We are on Twitter, @Drinking Nerds. We are on Instagram, @Drinking Nerds. You can follow us. You can follow me on Untapped, although I'm not on there very much anymore. Just search for Zoffer on there. XOPHER.
If Christmas can do it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like I'm like, if Christmas can take Christ and just make it an X, I can do that with my name and make it Zoffer, which is actually my steampunk name. So
okay.
And it sounds cool. So but yeah, or you can look for Drinking Nerds on there. Send us a friend request. We'll get you added. Unfortunately, I don't do a lot on there. I kind of want to go back to just doing my own thing, which links to my Detroit Beer Guy on Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm @Detroit Beer Guy. Renee is @Detroit Beer Gal.
I was shocked that it was actually like available.
I was amazed that Detroit Beer Guy was actually still there. So.
Definitely snagged it. I don't really do the twatter tins.
But anyway, so that's going to do it for us tonight. I appreciate everyone for hanging out with us for so long, because we're almost at 2 hours and 20 minutes now. So I think on that note, until next time.